What up, everybody? Your friendly neighborhood menace here. Another huge W for Trump. The IRS is now going to have to be forced to hand over tax documents to the Department of Homeland Security so that we can check in on these illegals and see who is gaming the system, who is getting Social Security benefits illegally, who's voting illegally. All this is going to come out to the light, and the acting director had to quit because she's obviously an activist. And I keep saying we're going to get rid of all these activists, and they'll trickle out eventually because she knows that what she's doing is illegal. She will be held to account for some of this, and she's quitting before she has to be hold any kind of accountability. So before we do that, I just want to show you this video I found of this libtard right here. This guy is like he likes to go to all the MAGA rallies and he tries to like dunk on the MAGA, but he's an idiot. He always ends up deleting his videos because people tell him how stupid he is on Twitter, and he tries to pull on. You see, this kind of stuff works on liberals because they're all bleeding hearts, and you tell them something, and, oh my God, I can't believe that. So check this out.
How much do you think undocumented immigrants pay into the tax system every year?
Zero.
Nothing.
Oh, probably nothing.
Undocumented, I would guess zero. Why would they pay anything?
My guess is nothing.
Since they're undocumented, $0.
$100.
$100. 2022, they paid $96 billion into Social Security and Medicare, just undocumented.
I really don't know what to say about it.
2022, they paid $96 billion into
God.
the Social Security
Oh my
Medicare
God.
system.
It seems ludicrous that there would be that kind of money coming in.
You are 100% right. Given everything we've heard, it sounds absurd. It sounds insane. Just like an alternate reality, right? It runs counter to the entire narrative that we've been getting.
It runs counter to your narrative that you're trying to portray.
Several years.
Who did? The government?
The undocumented immigrants, they paid into the system. They pay it into the system.
Okay.
So through ITN number.
So documented immigrants?
Undocumented immigrants, they pay Medicare, they pay Social Security. They don't get Social Security.
Right, but they pay into.
And how are they getting Social Security numbers 6 months after coming over the border and claiming asylum? That's weird, right? How they just ship a Social Security number out 6 months after they get here. That's strange, isn't it? To a non-citizen, an illegal.
How much do you think illegal migrants pay in taxes? They all guess zero, and then bam, he hits them with the gotcha moment. And actually, it's $96 billion a year. And people really fall for this stuff.
Yep.
I mean, the comment section of this video is just something else. People keep telling this guy he's doing God's work, but he isn't. And the number that he's citing is complete BS. And the whole premise that he's building is totally misleading. You know, yeah, maybe technically illegal migrants paid $96 billion total in all forms of tax. That's local, state, and federal tax. But when you actually break that down, guess what? The federal portion is actually only $59 billion. And that's an important number because that's $59 billion in a country where the government collects nearly $5 trillion in federal taxes a year. So let's just do the simple math. Divide 59 billion by 5 trillion, and what do you get? You get 0.01199%. In other words, around 1/10 of 1%. Yeah, illegal migrants pay into the system 1/10 of 1% of all federal tax revenue. Quite.
Wow. Literally nothing. Literally nothing. It will make no difference having them here paying taxes or not. And this is how they get you, dude. They rely on you to not know things and go, oh, maybe they're not so bad. Yeah, but what about all the money that we spend, especially in California where we have Medi-Cal and they just nonstop are going to the hospital. Like, dude, when Joe Biden opened up the borders and they were flooding over here, the hospitals got so backed up with having to treat illegals. Patients weren't being treated. American citizens weren't being treated. They were being overlooked. And then the hospitals were sending the bills to the government, and the government wasn't paying them back for it. There's huge stories about this, that they're going into the red over illegals, and nobody's fucking covering them. They were spending so much money on illegals. They spent way more than what they put in. They spent way more than this on illegals than what they put in. Think about Joe Biden giving billions of dollars to all just NGOs. This is ridiculous. So you guys remember when Kelly Osbourne said that who's going to clean Donald Trump's toilets? And she got canceled for that? Listen to how she speaks. Listen to how Jasmine Crockett, Congresswoman, speaks about. This is what she thinks about you guys. This is what she thinks about migrants in general. Because a lot of these people that do these jobs, they're already legal citizens, but they just don't speak English, and it's hard to find a job, when you don't do that. Listen to this. Listen, this is what she thinks of you.
To go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
Imagine telling black people that you're too good to do hard work. Imagine being in a room full of people, especially right now when the jobs market is going up, and we're going to have a lot of jobs out there. And there is going to be competition for these jobs because we have, honestly, when it comes to the whole crop picking thing, we can have prisoners do this. We can have prisoners do all this work. It's going to be automated soon anyways, and we'll have a couple people manning the machines. But we can have prisoners do it for right now. We can get rid of every illegal picking crops and doing all that stuff. But they do more than that, man. But can you just, if anybody else said that besides a black person, they'd be racist, they'd be labeled racist and canceled. That's crazy to me, man. We not picking crops. Okay. All right. You're not even going to work with your hands either. All right. I mean, I don't know what you have against hard work. Farming's hard work.
Back, and I said before, the Democrats have taken a lot of beatings. They have lost their confidence. They've gone crazy. How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. How about her? Is that real? Are they serious about that? That's their new star? If that's their new star, they're in serious trouble. I mean, this is Crockett. Oh, man. But we have...
This administration is something else. There is this new agreement that they have come up with the IRS. They want the IRS to share tax data
That's right.
of undocumented immigrants with the Department of Homeland Security. And the acting IRS commissioner, her name is Melanie Krause, is saying, I'm not going to do it. She's refusing to participate in that. And guess what? She is planning on resigning. That's according to the Washington Post, saying that she is going to take part in the deferred resignation program that the government is offering to agency employees. By the way, the IRS in the coming days is going to lay off thousands of people. This is
good. We don't need all these people
crazy,
in the IRS.
lawless BS.
We're hunting people
down. What happened
down.
to the right to privacy?
Joe Biden hired thousands of IRS workers when he came into office that hunt down women that work in bars and restaurants to get them to pay more taxes. That's literally what they did, was to just go around telling people they needed to pay more money.
What happened?
We got the Superstore soldiers here literally crying. They're shedding tears over illegals having to give give their tax documents over to DHS. These people hate this country, dude. They hate the people in this country. They hate the fact that we're trying to make this place a better place for the people, for the Americans that live here. Take America first. It's literally America first, and they hate it. Look at this soy boy, dude.
The IRS just finished striking a deal with the Department of Homeland Security, which means that they will now be sharing confidential data about undocumented migrants who pay taxes, their names, their social security numbers, their address, so that way they could speed up mass deportations. And remember, they just got the go-ahead yesterday because the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the administration to speed up mass deportations under the Aliens and Enemies Act. And this comes today as the administration announced that there would be a $998 fee for every single undocumented migrant who does not deport themselves, which means that a single undocumented migrant could get up to $1 million in American debt due to that. And then on top of that, again, the president announced today that he wants to drone strike Mexico in terms of wanting to seek drug cartels, and Mexico has already pushed against that.
So the IRS today has agreed to turn
Why
over
do they all
tax
look like this, bro?
of
What did they put in libtard water? Why do they all look like this? Super soy.
to ICE. This is absolutely insane and something that has been fought
You know
for
this
a while
dude.
now. And
These
so
guys,
this is huge.
they don't like women. Like, I mean, let's be honest, dude. Like,
This is coming out. Migrants pay billions of dollars a year in taxes. And if you think they are going to continue.
You see how they love that narrative? That's why I had to put that in the beginning, because they love using that. They think like if people hear they pay billions, they'll be like, oh my God, how will we ever survive without their billions?
Pay
Literally
taxes
nothing.
that support all of us.
It supports
When they
all
know
of us.
that their
No,
documentation
we support us.
for something totally separate is going to be handed over to authorities that want to physically remove them and put them into concentration camps.
No, they're
we
just
got
going to
another
get
thing
sent
coming.
back home.
This is the weaponization of documents in the United States. If you hand something over in good faith to the federal government, that should be reciprocated. These people are not illegal. What they did
Yes,
is
they
not
are.
a criminal offense.
Yes, they did.
So to be going through their tax documents and so much more, and now forcing them to carry documentation on them all the time, just like they did in Germany, is absolutely insane.
The IRS is now going to share
Bro.
immigrants' information with ICE.
Is it just me? Look at this, dude. Look at this. Is this what a man looks like? Remember Fight Club? Is that what a man looks like? In 2025, this is what a man looks like right here. Wow.
Bitch.
Wow.
And isn't that proving that immigrants are paying taxes?
It's not immigrants, you total moron. It's non-citizens. They're non-citizens. That means it doesn't matter. We should be able to look at their taxes if we want to. What's the problem? They're not citizens. Dumbasses. Yeah, all right, I can't take any more of this utter stupidity. All right, I had enough of that, guys. So let's get into the total base chat of CNN. Scott Jennings.
I don't think anybody disagrees with that. 7 million means that they're not just going after criminals.
Well, they're going after people who are in the country illegally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying the criminals. This is a much bigger universe.
Doesn't that make you a criminal?
No, it doesn't.
To come across the border illegally?
Coming into the country illegally is a civil offense. It's not a criminal offense.
Okay, if you come into the country illegally, here's the message. We're going to find you and send you back. I mean, I'm sorry, that's the way it is. And I think the government should pull all the levers at its disposal to find people and pull this off. It's what the American people asked Donald Trump to do. Yes, they should be deporting violent people. Yes, they should be deporting people who committed violent acts before they came here. But at some juncture, if you're going to allow any illegal immigration at all, the message then goes out. Just get here, it'll probably work out for you. That was the last administration. This is a different one.
This is different. Yeah, we're not playing by Joe Biden's rules anymore. You didn't follow the rules when you let them all in here. Why should we have to follow? We're going to change the rules so that we can get them all out. They're falling like dominoes one at a time. We're getting rid of one bureaucrat, one loser trying to screw Americans over at a time. And I'm loving every moment of it. I hope you guys are too. Modern Menace, I'm out. Peace.